Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. It's Clay from Clay's Collections, and today we're going to talk about how to make good money on vintage sewing items. And there's a couple items in particular that I do really well with. One of them, just because it's a consistent seller, and if I can get it within a certain price point, I buy them because my stock is continually going. And again, if you're new to the channel, I am a part-time reseller at an antique store in downtown Hopkins, Minnesota called the Pink Elephant. And I don't do any online selling. I just don't have time to do that anymore. We're doing it basically full-time, but I've gone back to work full-time, so I don't have time to deal with the online stuff at this point. I just made that decision, and it's actually worked out really well for me to just sell through the antique store. So there's certain items, particularly when it comes to vintage sewing items, that you should keep your eye out because they're good money makers even online. When I was selling stuff online, these are the kind of things I look for. And in fact, there's one item I will probably sell online because it will not do well at the antique store. So there's certain items that you have to kind of make an assessment. Certain items I sell at the antique store that it wouldn't do well at the online, and vice versa. So now I'm just going to get into this. That's what I'm going to do. So as some of you have seen from my recent series on Nebraska thrift stores, I picked up a number of items. One of them I picked up were some vintage hankies. And vintage hankies do really well for me. I consistently sell them. I pick them up typically for a quarter, maybe 50 cents. In this case, there were two for 50 cents. And they do particularly well, especially like the holiday themed ones. If they're Christmas, Valentine's, St. Patrick's Day, those types of items do really well. So in this case, I paid 50 cents for two, so at a quarter each. I sell them for from $2.50 to $5, depending upon the pattern. And if they're extra specials, particularly if they're children's patterns or children's hankies, they can go for more, upwards of $10 to $15. For these, what I'm talking about particularly are the embroidered ones. Now, here's another set that I did, and I'll get into it, another aspect of these in a minute. So there's another set of two that I picked up. These I paid $1 for these two. So they're 50 cents each. But again, they're great because I can, do anywhere from 8 to 10 times my money that I'm paying for these. So I can sell them for, around $5 for these because they have the articulated butterflies, if you will. They're really cool in the two different colors. And many people at the antique store will sell these for $4 to $5 each. Now, if you have, in particular, designer style handkerchiefs, they can go for much more money, particularly mid-century modern styled. There's certain designers that do really well to look out for. And again, you can just do the research on eBay, do vintage handkerchiefs, designer, sort by highest sold, and you can see what some of them go for. And though I sold those online, I pick them up at garage sales. The one garage sale I picked up a whole baggie full of vintage hankies for $1. I pulled them out. Most of them were never used, still had the original tags on them. Many great designer name items were in that bag, which I had no idea because on top and bottom were ones like these, so you couldn't see much in the bag, and I didn't open it. I just thought for $1 I'll buy them. But I started listing them, and they were selling as I was listing them. And then people were messaging me saying, hey, do you have any more? And I'm like, yes, I'm continuing listing them. So they were buying them as I was listing them. So the proper patterns, proper designers, you can do really well with. Now, the other item I'm going to talk about, and I've talked about it before in some of my videos, are the embroidery hoops. And I always call it the royal trifecta, the brands to look for: Princess, Duchess, and Queen. So on our thrift trip, I found a Princess. Now this one is just a wooden one. Some are felt lined. Some are cork lined, but this is a Princess tensioner. So it's tensioned, and then to loosen it, you just push in on this, and then you can pull them apart. But Princess is a good brand. You can pick these up for $0.25, 50 cents, and they can sell from $15 to $20 each consistently. Now this one is a Duchess. It is felt lined, which felt lined does make them worth a little more money, but this one happens to have the person's name written in ink on it. Now I could try sanding that off if I wanted to, but I think I will just sell it as is. And in this case, I paid $0.25 for it. There's the sign. And in fact, this one I didn't even pay $0.25 for, because at the thrift store we went to, it was $3 a bag sale. And she said, at first she said it was clothing, and then she was like, whatever you want to put in there. It's $3 a bag. Everything can go in there today. So we had about a whole bag full of stuff. So anyway, so the Duchess I paid $0.25 for. This one I probably paid $0.10 for. Who knows? But then I found the Queen. This is the brand to look out for if you find these with the wheel. And they're marked Queen, usually patent pending, which this one is patented. So this is a little later. Some say patent pending. This one says patented. And these are felt lined. Look for the felt lined. These are the wooden ones. They also make metal ones. Metal outside rim with the felt lining. And those do well as well, just not as well as the wooden ones. The metal ones typically will sell from $50 to $75 each. These wooden ones, this is a 6-inch. They made them in 4, 5, 6, and 7 inches. They range from $250 to $500 for one of these. And again, I think I paid less than $0.25 for this. And they sell quickly. If you currently look at the listings, there are no wooden Queen embroidery hoops for sale in 6-inch. There are 2, I think 7-inch, and there are many, many solds. So if you're looking at the sold to ratio, these are awesome because there's almost none listed. Most people put them on auction to sell them because they go for really good money. So this is one I would put on eBay on an auction and see where it goes. I did sell one of these a couple years ago for $250. I had it at a buy it now price, but these sell, and it sold very quickly. So these are great items, sell quickly. If you find them, pick them up, even if you're paying $50 for them, because again, you're going to be selling it for hundreds when you find them. So vintage sewing items can be great value. And the other great thing, they're easy to ship, right? You need just a little box. I always box these and insure them because people are paying good money. You want to make sure they get them. Anyway, oh, the other thing to look for is the felt, because felt is made of wool. And what likes wool? That's right, moth. So some of the felt can be full of moth holes, which is okay if it is, but you're not going to get as much money if it's intact. Now see right here, there's some tiny moth holes right along there. So that's just the one thing to look out for. And the felt can be replaced. It's not like the end of the world, but if they're looking for a vintage one, and why these are so expensive, I have no idea. But people love them. And that's what you want to do, is provide the service that people love. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Catch you next time.